We are officially starting, and Sarah Collins says she's going to be on in a sec. So, so while she gets people, so she can get on. First of all, this is for all those who are watching. Get your name on the wait list. It doesn't cost a thing to get on the wait list, and there are already hundreds, if not thousands, of people on the wait list. And so, get your name on the wait list. They're gonna message you because you want to lock in that $150 price anyway before it goes up next week. And honestly, it is going to be miraculous. A quick story is that I talked to somebody today. I have no doubt she's going to be a coach on our team and rock the business. She has MS and has already used Turbo Jam, and she used the pump classes at her gym. She said that she used Turbo Jam to help her stay active, and then she used Les Mills pump classes because she couldn't at one point even remember left to right because the MS just kind of messes up with all the muscle. So she did pump because it uses a bar, so you didn't have to do, there was no left or right. It was like both hands did the same thing. The deadlifts and the overhead press, it was all the same thing. And so that kept her active. And I was able to share Melissa Hadley's story from Summit, who ran Boston Marathon. Carrilyne, if you remember, she was talking about how she has MS, and the doctors were like, how are you even walking? So I was able to share her story and connect. And so if I wasn't there at Summit, I wouldn't have. I love sharing successful coaches' stories with other people who are going, is this for me? Can I do it? So as soon as I shared her story, she was like, oh my gosh, so I really can do this. And so she's looking at what program she wants to get started with because she already has a few of them and she wants to add something else to her portfolio. So that was a really good testament to me that I went to Summit, and if for nothing else, I would have not heard Melissa Hadley's story to be able to relate to this other person to give her inspiration and hope. So be at Summit next year. We're finishing up the month of July. I will be posting. We have new coaches. We have lots of good, fun things happening with this team. And so at the end of July, I'm going to post a little poster of success and then have you guys tag yourselves and celebrate all those fun things. Next month, what we're talking about is the Team Cup Challenge. A lot of people said, what is that? Team Cup Challenge is where it's for those who want to sprint in this business, who are tired of, use the analogy of the airplane, tired of taxiing on the runway because there's no point in being an airplane taxiing to where you want to go. You want to take off. You want to fire up those jet engines and take off. And so that's what the Cup Challenge has done for me every single quarter that they've run it, is that I find myself kind of getting into a monotonous, complacent mode with my business. And this really helps to put a fire under my butt to just go for it, no excuses. We buy paper plates, paper cups, and plastic silverware, so that way then there's not a whole load of dishes in the dishwasher that I have to be doing. So that's one less thing that I have to do so I can focus on building the business. And it's for 1 month, and it has been the launch period for me to be able to propel my business even further. And if you are one who wants to help a lot of people, look at it as you're going to shoot for trying to help 20 people. If you're one who wants to make a paycheck, dude, you help 20 people, multiply that by $40 commission, and that's what you would make in just the commissions, not counting in the next month's residual, So however way you want to look at it, it's a way to propel your business, and it helps us be able to connect better with our relationships, stay better in contact, get us more active in the group. So Team Cup Challenge, we're going to be working out how to do the teams because I think we can put 3 teams together. I'm going to talk with you, Sarah Collins, to see how you feel about heading one up, being a captain of one. I know you've got the baby on the way, but I think that with your experience, you still would be a great person to kind of have people look to because you have been really consistent and have done really well. So, and obviously we aren't going to isolate the teams. We're going to still help each other and cheer each other on because we want all 3 of our teams to do really well. So if not Sarah Collins, I'll be talking to one of you other people. So tonight we're talking about Summit, and I wanted to hear from Carrilyne and myself. And the cool thing is that I've already been on a few calls of Summit recaps, and it's been really interesting because, like, oh, we were in the same session, we were in the same training, you know, on the same track, hearing from the same people, and you take away from Summit what matters most to you and what you need to focus on. And so there's some times where I've listened, you know, to somebody else talk, and I'm like, it's really interesting that you got that. I totally didn't catch that. So I want Carrilyne to start off with sharing some of the things that she took from Summit, the whole experience, the trainings, just the atmosphere, and maybe something that you might implement in your business. You know, what's one thing that might, you know, if you change, would really make a difference. So take it away.
The Summit was amazing, and totally, like Lori says, it's worth going just for like the atmosphere, being with the real people, feeling all that energy, and like being part of a group, being a part of this with the other people. Like the girls there were so fun and so accepting. Anybody you talk to, they wanted to talk back with you about the business. They wanted to find out like what you were doing, and you wanted to find out what they were doing. And we were all like, okay, after all the you know, the sessions, we'd be like, okay, yeah, we need to start doing that, or oh, I do that, and that did work for me. And that was just like the amazing part, because I could talk Beachbody all day, and so I don't have anybody to talk Beachbody with besides Lori and you guys, and then you guys will get sick of it because you are also like already doing all of it. So that was just nice to just be immersed in it for the whole weekend. That was just so fun. It was fun that the girls and Missy's team just like took us in, and we just partied with them all weekend, and they were so fun. And I don't know, that was just like the girls' weekend party. Everybody loved everyone. We felt like best friends, and like I just met them. Like nobody made me feel weird at all, like that we just met. It was like we already knew each other. So I really appreciated that about Summit. Like that was just amazing. And like also how they just treat you like you're like everywhere you go. Like they have these performance, like the opening ceremony they put on is amazing. All like the special things they provide. You know, you had to buy the lunches, but they have lunches, healthy lunches provided for you. They have parties for you. Like everything that they did for us was amazing, and it felt like we were like special and worthy of being treated like that. And so that, like, I love that about Beachbody. Like seriously, like who puts on the party? Like that successful party was awesome. It was. There was like great food everywhere. We got to mingle and talk. I got to meet Scotty Hobbs and David Ingram. Lori knows them very well. I got to be introduced. I got a picture with Amy Silverman. I saw Lindsay Madway, and everybody else was getting pictures with her, but I was like, not gonna do that. I wasn't gonna be that person for a while, but then I ended up becoming that person. But I was like the one snapping pictures of all my favorite coaches behind their backs. So I loved that part. But like I think my biggest takeaway that I would talk about was how like everybody is a real person. Like if they are in their big fancy dresses getting recognized on the stage, like they're all like they started out just like us. Like they really did, and they make it sound that way, but it's like so true. Like when you're at someone and you're listening to them in person, or you're listening to the speakers on the stage, and they tell you, like it's like real, like how they really were just like me, and how they put into place. They just studied, they learned the business, and they applied consistency, like just being consistent to their lives in this business, and they like are successful. I loved everybody's talk. I loved Melanie Mitro, how she talked about how she uses the leadership ladder, and how like that was amazing too. That all the things we need, all the tools we need are like right there on the team training, on the whatever Beachbody training. And so you can just go there and get everything you need and just apply that and do it. Start as an emerald, get all those behaviors down, move up, and just start doing all the behaviors. Never stop like doing them. Just keep building and building, and you'll just keep building your business. And so that was like huge for me. I sat on the plane from Nashville to Dallas next to Amber, Lindquist Marshall, Amber Marshall, which Brigida talked about in her talk about her coach that does all the trainings with, I mean, she does everything, she delegates to everyone because she did not want to be a leader. And it was funny because she is like the most real person there is. Like, she's not fancy. She doesn't want to be recognized for anything, but she is a successful coach. She's making $7,000 to $8,000 a month, and she does it with the help of her team, and having Brigida as her coach probably helps a little bit. But at the same time, I can't make excuses for her and say, yo, she's successful because of where she is. You know, she's on she's Brigida's coach, so of course she's successful. But honestly, she was just a regular person just like me. She homeschools her kids, and she does Beachbody, and she makes money. And so I was so impressed by that. And like, that's just everyone's story. Everyone's story was that they were a normal person just like me. And like, that's why I fell in love with Lori. That's why, like, when I look at everybody's just a real person, and that you can be successful, and it's really true. Why aren't more people doing this? It's amazing. I don't know. Lori, you start talking about some stuff, and then I'll probably have more ideas. But like, that was my biggest.
What was your favorite? Do you have a favorite training from the blue track?
I don't know. I loved them all, and I learned so much from them. I loved. I don't know. Start talking about what your favorite one was.
Okay. Well, I wrote down, and actually, do you guys see Carrilyne like flipping her notebook? Like, I wanted to first show you, like, there are notes upon notes, and then what I do is I go back through the notes and I take, because sometimes I'm like, I don't remember what I was actually thinking of when I wrote stuff down, but I go back through, and you should see, like, Carrilyne and I should like post all the pictures of the slides that we took. Like, oh my gosh, like slide upon slide upon slide. So I have notes, and I don't even, like, I have like, refer to slide 3 in the presentation. I'm like, I don't even know what slide that is anymore, because there's like hundreds of pictures that we took of each slide. So there was tons of information that was given to us. And then what I do is I go back with the yellow highlighter, or whatever color highlighter. I have a yellow one right now. And so I'm highlighting the things that stuck out to me most. And honestly, here's the deal. This is what I did. And I'm a religious person, so bear with me, but I kind of approached this kind of like the LDS religion has these semi-annual conferences where they get like top leaders from the church talking. And so I was pregnant, so I couldn't do any fasting, but I wrote down things, and I have them here in the front, things that I specifically needed to learn. And like, it was awesome to go through, and I checked off every single one of the things that I prayed about. And I prayed every morning to just be like, let me be open to having this question answered. The one thing that helped to get, I think it was Melanie Mitro who said, passion is what gets you started, but then it's the discipline that keeps you going. And so, you know, we're going to have rough days. We're going to have days where you don't feel like working out. You don't feel like sending out invites, but it's the discipline of getting up and just doing it anyway that is going to keep you consistent and keep you reaching for success. It was Christine Dwyer where she said, what is your why? And a lot of times when I say, okay, what is your why? Why do you want to coach? And think right now, what is your why? And start answering that question in your mind. And I can tell you that a lot of coaches start answering, well, I want to be financially, I'm going to pay off my house, financially free, bring my husband home from his job, or this or the other. And she stopped and said, those are goals. That's not why. Those are goals you want to reach, but your why is an emotional reason. It's why you're getting up and doing it. You have goals that you're reaching, but why do you want to reach those goals? Why are those goals important? So I wrote down what my why was, and I've never done this before. I've always written down goals. So I wrote down, I want my kids to see me as an example of being myself, to be real and authentic. And by doing so, I will show them that when they help others, they will feel happier and more fulfilled than any job could ever give them. And then I said, and now that I have a taste of what belonging and finally being accepted. I mean, we moved 7 times in 13 years. I've never felt like I fit in anywhere. And with Beachbody, like Carrilyne said, you're yourself and you be you and you're accepted and people love you because we're like-minded, we're different, but I can finally be myself. And now that I've had a taste of being accepted, I want everyone to know that this group exists, that Beachbody exists, that they can be themselves, they can be successful, they can be loved and accepted, and especially in our Team Force group, that everybody is accepted for who they are. It doesn't matter where they are in life, how many kids they have, what age they are, what their goals are, that we all are accepted. So that's, I think, the first time that I've actually written down. I mean, that really makes a big deal. That means so much to me. That's why I do Beachbody coaching. I mean, the paycheck and having the idea of Kevin being home is awesome. Paying off our mortgage is awesome. But waking up knowing I belong somewhere, I fit in, I have a group of friends who love me regardless of what I'm about, just keeps me going. Carl's speech. We're not an MLM, we're an MLH. We're a multi-level helping company. Because when you think about it, we aren't just here to sell products. We're here to help people get transformations. That's why our work starts after they buy a challenge pack. If we were just about the sale, we wouldn't be doing challenge groups. We'd just be saying, okay, here's a program. Check in with me when you're done, or check in with me if you have questions. But we're forming challenge groups. And if you look, there is not another network marketing company that isn't doing a challenge group right now. I mean, you got the chocolate bar network marketing company doing challenge groups now based on their, and that's like, the best form of flattery, because we're multi-level helping. And then it's so fun to talk to people about coaching and saying, no, I don't make any money off of anybody's sales. I only make money if you guys sell, if you guys succeed, if you guys make a paycheck and the company pays me. And people's minds are blown by that. But that's where at every level, whether or not you signed up with me as your sponsor, or Carrilyne as your sponsor, Sarah is your sponsor, Jackie, Gina, whoever is your sponsor coach, I'm getting up to work with you in mind because I want you to succeed. Yes, the company pays me a bonus as my leadership expands and grows into a big team, but it's a multi-level helping, because it doesn't matter what level you are on. I am dedicated and I am committed to helping you succeed. And every person on this team is dedicated to that. So I really, really love that. The thing that really hit me is that because I didn't have great mentorship in place when I started, there were no webinars, there were no team calls, there was no Coach Basics. It was your coach, great, go talk to people, get them excited. And that was the direction I was given. I have really taken upon myself feeling responsible for whether or not a coach succeeds or fails, because I felt like I needed to have this process that I didn't have. And honestly, like when I see a coach going inactive and when I see a coach not working the business, I feel a part of me is questioning whether or not I could have done something more. I could have said something more. I could have had something else in place for a training. And so I think for the last year, I got really focused on trying to create this perfect system. You sign up as a coach and you go through this step-by-step system to help you get to Emerald, to Diamond, and then to Star Diamond. And I was focused on making that happen. And I lost sight of the cycle of success. And Carl Deichler shared this slide and it hit me. It was like, that's what I'm doing wrong. He shared the cycle of success as the company. And it is, you show that you're proof the products work. You use the programs and you get your transformation story. And you share it with other people, and you invite them to get their own results. And then you are there retaining them long enough to help them get their results, which is the challenge group. And then all you do is you just plug them back into doing that same cycle, sharing their transformation story. and inviting other people. And that is what it is. Get your transformation, help others see that they can get a transformation too, help them get a transformation, and then just show them how to share their transformation. That really is as simple as this business needs to be. That's it. And I think I got too focused on trying to explain volume and trying to explain emerald rank and trying to explain all this other stuff that our team got kind of sidetracked. And it really hit me when I was talking, and that's why I made that post. If you're not hitting Success Club, if you're a coach and you've been a coach for 30 days and you haven't started a transformation, if you've been a coach for 60 days and you haven't had a transformation, it's going to be very hard to see success, because the success cycle is get your transformation and share it with other people. And it starts with you. I don't know how many times I heard that in like every single session. It starts with you. It starts with your transformation. It starts with your bettering yourself so you can share it with other people. And so I want you guys to really, really focus on your journey. And Jackie, I see that you're starting to post your workouts. Cecilia, she's doing an awesome job. If you aren't sharing your workout every single day, people are not going to come to you as a fitness advocate. And so I want you guys to focus on that. We will go through and I will have a step-by-step, here's this training on how to, send an invite. Here's a training on how to follow up. Here's a training on how to, cover objections. But I want you guys to seriously stay focused on your journey and get yourself in a position where you are sharing your transformation with other people. Like that was like huge for me, where it's like this team, we need transformations. We need physical transformations. We need to show our physical and our mental transformations with the world. And so that is one thing that hit me with that slide from Carl Degler. And then I basically cried through the whole entire DeWitt Jones session. He is a videographer, photographer for National Geographic. And like they turn the lights off, so my notes are like all over like the side of the page. But thank goodness, because I was in tears. Like tears were just flowing the whole entire time, because he spoke right to me. And he shared this story, the dandelion story, where he was sent up to British Columbia to take pictures, and he came across this field of dandelions, and it was, yellow and beautiful, but the sun just wasn't quite hitting it right. He just wasn't feeling it right. He just wasn't feeling the moment. So he took a picture outside of the field, but that was it. And he left to go take more pictures in the down in the community. And he waited 3 or 4 days, and he went back up there. And when he went back up there, the only thing that was left was tufts of grass with puffballs. The dandelions had died, and there were the white puffballs. And he was like, crap, like opportunity missed. I ruined it. And he could have just given up there. He could have just looked at this and gone, well, I just, throw your hands up, give up. That was it. But instead, what he heard in his mind was, what is right with this situation? Look at what's before you, and what can you fall in love with? And his theme was to celebrate what is right. And so he got down on his hands and knees, and he said he was like a kid rolling around, and he probably looked really ridiculous. He was like, laying on the ground and rolling and taking pictures, trying to figure out what to do. And at the very moment, he looked up and he saw this amazing image. And I'm going to, I have it here. Let me share with you. Where let me do a screen share, because it was a pretty cool. So here is the image that he ended up capturing. So he could have just said, opportunity missed, but instead he captured a beautiful shot. And I think that for us as coaches, like, that's a skill that we get to develop, because, you know, right now coming home from Summit, I'm tired. There's a lot of things that I have on my plate, and there's a lot of things going on. And I came home to a lot of messages of people wanting, you know, canceling their Shakeology. You know, I've got cancellations from coaches coming in, and I've got all sorts of things going on. Andy all of a sudden hit like Ferocious 5 or something. She's been really cranky. And so there's a lot of things that are going wrong. And I think that a lot of times as coaches, we focus on what we're not doing well, what's not going right. Why are my challengers not completing their program? You know, why am I not selling challenge packs? You know, why is this not working? And we focus so much on what is not working, what's wrong. And it applies to our day too. What is right in your life? What can you fall in love with? In the middle of chaos, what can you fall in love with? What can you see from a different angle? And that's the other thing that I think really hit me too, is that, like, you know, coaches are asking, okay, so what's the right way to answer this? You know, I know some of you guys have done it. I'm guilty of it too. What's the right way to answer this objection? What's the right way to, you know, how should I, you know, make new friends or add more people to my business, or what, you know, what should I say to this, or what should I do? And honestly, he talked about the next right answer. There's no one right answer for this company. There's no one angle. I mean, you think about nature, and you talked about how, you know, there's a forest of trees, and nature doesn't go, oh, there is one photographer who's going to get one picture, and that is the only picture that I'm going to give that is beautiful. And everybody else is going to get a picture that just stinks. And it's going to be the wrong picture, and it's not going to look good. That's not what nature does, and that's not what happens here in Beachbody. You can run your own race, and you can make this business be what you want it to be. And start asking yourself, how would I answer this? Because there's not one right answer. You know, that's why I'm always saying, post in the team page your questions. Don't shoot me the questions in a message, because I'm going to give you something that I might say, but what I might say might not be the right thing. Or what I say isn't necessarily the way you would say it. You know, somebody else might have a different spin on it too. We all have different ways of answering things and different ways of doing things, and there's not one right way to do things. And there's not a right or wrong to do it either. You do it, you do you, because you're the only person who can do you in this business. And there are people who need to connect to you, not to me, to you. And so you run your own race, and you do your own thing. And I loved how he said, don't strive to be the best in the world, strive to be the best for the world. And I could go on and on and on through multiple pages, but those are the takeaways that I got from Summit. So the thing that I'm implementing is we already have the training. You know, I could say, oh my gosh, I have a really awesome training that it's going to get you from coach to diamond coach. It's amazing. And it's called the Team Force New Coach University. There's nothing that other coaches that I looked at and have talked to, there's nothing that they have that we don't have. We have the online office, we have the leadership ladder, we have that coach training that I basically stole from Brigida. So those topics and those videos are exactly what she gives to her coaches. And so we have all the training. So what I am going to do is I'm going to put a checklist of everything. And I got it from Brigida, actually. I got this checklist from Brigida and Keisha, her other coach. And it's a checklist. And you go through, okay, did I go through my welcome email? If you haven't gone through, I'm going to send every one of my personally sponsored coaches a new coach welcome email. So then you have it fresh. Go through that and check that off. Make sure you've done everything there. Go through and say, okay, did I set a date for a challenge group? Did I set a date for my free group? Am I posting on Facebook? Like there's just the checklist. I'm going to give it to you guys so you can just check it off as you go. Did I start the New Coach University? Because honestly, the questions to objections, there's a whole entire document on how to answer those. And it's in the New Coach University. You just got to go through it. And so we're going to start going through, did I do lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, lesson 4? And if you have a question, I'm going to say, did you go through the New Coach University? And if you haven't, I'm going to point you to that, because we have the training. We have what we need. And like Carrilyne said, these aren't amazing, brilliant business degree, social media, skipping from one, network marketing company so they know how to do it and they just brought their team over. These are moms. These are dads. These are girls who are just, like us. And so those are the 4, I kept it down to 4 takeaways that I got. And so I'm going to implement that process, but then I'm going to let you guys be the CEO and realize that you need to create your business and do it your way. There's no one right way to do it. And to love the situation that you're in, find something that you love about it. So I'm going to pass it back over to Carrilyne to see if that sparked any other ideas. I got you unmuted there.
I think, did I mute myself? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that reminds me about, I personally learned so much, and Lori's so deep, and I love Lori and her deepness, and I may not be as deep as Lori in what I share, but Melanie Mitros was one of my favorites, just because she talked about really just how to present yourself on your social media and how to make it look like people want to follow you and want to be like you, and how to pick your social media of choice that you rock, and then rock that one thing. And she I don't know, I really connected, like watching her. I was like, I can see why she's a top coach, because at the same time, like they did this whole top coach presentation thing for her. Like they make a show for the top coach, and like we were all kind of confused at first, because for a while it didn't feel like it was going anywhere, and it was all about how she didn't have any talents that they could showcase in their big production. Like last year, the top coach could sing, and so I guess I didn't see it, I don't know, but what it sounded like is she sung, and she did some kind of amazing thing. And so everybody kept asking all of Melanie Mitros' family, like, what does she do? What is her talent? And it's like, she does laundry, she cooks dinner. And then the husband's like, I think I do all those things. And it goes like so funny, because it's like, well, she's obviously amazing because she is doing all this and she's helping so many people. And you know what happened was they kept saying, well, one of her kids, they kind of staged it, had it say, she's a hot mess. And so like that was kind of their theme, how she's a hot mess. She's like a real mom that just is crazy and just, jumbled life, but she makes it work and focuses. And she had her coaches. She didn't have them. She didn't know probably this was happening at all. Her coaches came out on the stage, and one of her coaches raps and did this rap for her, and they highlighted a whole bunch of things that they had said, like I don't know if it's just coaches or challengers or whatever, but how much she had meant to them, and like how she had gotten them to where they were, and how they had reached their goals because of her. And it was just, like you look at her page and she's just a sparkly, happy person. And like honestly, like I can relate to that, because I feel like if I went through all of my lists, I don't sing, I don't dance, I didn't go to college, I'm not extra smart, I'm not anything except I love my family and I would do anything for them, and I can be consistent at something that I love. And so that was like one of my favorite moments, and watching her get performed, and the fact that her big thing was her wine and her coffee, like that was like they kind of highlighted that about her too. And you know what? Whatever you are, whatever your vices are, you can make it work. And I needed to hear that, because sometimes I feel like I'm not making it. I have nothing special about me. In fact, I have things about me that make me like against me being successful at this. But if she can do it and be a top coach, then I can definitely get to at least what my goals are to. So yeah, I love that. That was a big special moment for me, connecting with that.
Yeah, we were wondering where they were going with that. They almost didn't turn the corner. We're like, okay, we got it.
It turned a little faster, but we got it at the end, so it was okay. But.
And so, so I just, the one quote that was, I'm trying to remember who said it, but it was said that, they quoted, I think it was Michelangelo or whoever did the angel out of the, he just said, I saw an angel in the stone and I just began to carve. And so I think that can be really applied to the challengers that we're helping. I mean, you look at the top challengers and you look at them their before pictures, and you would imagine that they would be like rocking, 150-pound weight loss story, but they had somebody believe in them. You look at the top coaches and they don't look like, they're not, I don't want to like bring, they're not, talk bad about them, but they're not anything different than what we are. And so, look at the people that you're talking to, because you might be the person who sees the angel in them, and you help to carve the angel out of your challengers. You help to carve the angel out of your coaches. And at the same time, again, everyone matters and it starts with you. Everyone matters and it starts with your story. And you're an angel. And so it's time to start carving away the limiting thoughts, the negative thoughts you have about yourself, and spread your wings and let yourself soar to the place you're supposed to be. So, again, I can't stress enough how this is like not even chipping at the surface. Like we are like just getting our little picks on what Summit was and what we got from it. But I can tell you that, it honestly gets better and better every year. I think I'm deep, Carrilyne, because I've been through it enough that I like, and that's me. Like I have paragraph upon paragraph in my, stories, and sometimes that bores people. So you can totally be who you want to be. But just make sure that you are consistent in your goals and moving forward in what you want it to be, and be looking for a new coach welcome email from me, and then it'll be followed up by a checklist of things that you want to do. I want to get on a guest star right call individually with each one of you guys. I'm gonna show you how to help your coaches by putting you through the process correctly.
Like that,
I also have scheduled out my time where the people who are showing up, I have a system now that I'm using that you can log on and you can schedule one-on-one phone calls with me. And so I want to really be there for you guys and help you guys reach your goals. And because while it starts with me, it's not about me. It's about helping you guys. That's where I find excitement and energy. So we're going to wrap this up so that way then it can be not too long, and everybody can post any questions you have in the team page. Check into the team page, because that's where the announcements of, coach calls, summit, Super Saturday, all those things are going to be in the team page. So make it a habit to check in to the Team Force page every single day, because I'll have, a video or a thought or something that I'm posting there, as well as any announcements made. So, all right. Love you guys. Good night.
Night.
And Sarah, you keep us posted on baby situation. I say 2 more weeks, right?
1.5.
1.5. Ah.
We're in single digits now?
Huh?
Single digits, 10 days or 9?
That's a good question.
Single digit was always like,
I think we're at 9.
yay!
I haven't thought about that. I haven't thought about counting it in days. I'm still counting.
You're almost there.
Awesome.
Close.
Okay.
We will continue to check in on the team page, and we'll see you there. Celebrate every success. Celebrate what's right. And post in there what's going well for you each day. All right.
Perfect.
Good night, guys.